So leadership is the ability to influence, motivate, enable, and empower. Enable and empower. The real leader does is they empower and enable you to be able to achieve that goal. And they develop other leaders under them. So the whole point is to develop other leaders. That's the biggest part of leadership.
Depends on what the person is ruling through. For example, some people lead through power, some people lead through popularity, some people, it really depends on how you lead. For example, if you are a king, nobody really chose you to be the leader. You were just automatically, you just be king, and that's through power. Everybody has to listen to you. But for example, let's
They
say,
have to?
well, kinda, really. Unless they have a revolution. But I mean, legally, yes, they do.
But do you call that person a leader if you have to listen to them?
They're ruling through power. So they are a leader, but not a positive one.
So what do we call those people? Bingo.
It doesn't have to be a dictator. For example, a king, he could be doing something good for the country, but the people don't know about it, or they don't believe in the same thing as him. That doesn't quite mean that he's a dictator. He's already forcing his leader to do it. A dictator is somebody who hurts the country for his own good and forces the other people to do the same thing as him.
But you also said that they're forced to listen to him.
Isn't that really what a regular king is? For example, let's say the president.
Yeah.
Let's say you didn't vote for him. You still have to listen to him. He's the
But does that
president.
make him a leader?
Technically, he was chosen by the people.
He was chosen by the people. But remember that a leader is somebody that influences people.
Exactly. That's something
Positive
that look at it in some ways. Like for example, people always believe that the leader has to be the one on top. He's the one, the richest, the one in the big house. Meanwhile, some other leaders really don't really do much. But what the better leader you are, the less popular you are. There's a quote, I forgot the guy's name, and I forgot the actual word for word, but he says like a bad leader people will fear and hate and so on. Hold on.
Okay. And that's what we don't use the word leader for people that drive fear into others.
I think there's like a difference between a leader and a ruler. Like, I think it's because a ruler, they may be chosen by the people, they may not be, but their whole job is to sort of dictate what goes on in a country, in a workplace, whatever. That's a ruler. And then a leader is someone that people choose to follow.
That's right. So let me ask you guys a question. Can any of you guys in here become a leader? Or can you be a leader right now? Perfect. Again, you don't need a title to lead, and a title doesn't make you a leader. Always remember that. The people running countries, you know, they're given the word leader of the country, but in my humble opinion, they're not really leaders. If you're causing damage to people or your country, you're not a leader. If people aren't voluntarily following you, that's not leadership. Go ahead.
I found a quote in 531 BC. Lao Tzu said, "A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they'll say we did it ourselves."
That's right. That's right. And a job of a leader is to create other leaders. Okay. So let's look at it from an organization or a company perspective. You've got leaders and you've got managers. Managers micromanage, they tell you what to do, they're always on top of you, and you know, they don't give you that freedom, and nobody really wants to follow a manager. They have to, just like what you said. But a leader is somebody that people voluntarily follow because they respect them and they have positive influence over their teams. Okay? So leadership is the ability to influence, motivate, enable, and empower. Enable and empower. Remember those words. Others towards a common goal. Right? So if you've got a goal to achieve something, what a real leader does is they empower and enable you to be able to achieve that goal. And they support you until you get there. Right? And they develop other leaders under them. So the whole point is to develop other leaders. That's the biggest part of leadership. And they're visionaries. So a lot of the leaders, they see things down the road, right? That's where the goals come in. And a good leader has that vision, and they drive their team towards that vision. So that's another thing. So where does leadership start? It starts with you. So one of the rules is you can't lead a team or you can't lead other people before you learn how to lead yourself. And you guys are at a perfect place to learn that, at this age, at this time of your career, not career, but at this time of where you are right now. It's a perfect time, right? So start that now. If you want to become a leader, if that's what your goal and that's what your vision is, start now. Right? You cannot lead, like I said, you cannot lead others before you lead yourself. And why do leadership skills matter? So again, leadership skills are not just for the office. So you hear a lot of people, when they refer to leaders, right away you think about a company, you think about like a Steve Jobs or a Bill Gates or those people, right? Again, leadership can go. What's that?
He's not a leader. He's an owner.
He could be an owner. He could be whatever, CEO. It does. Again, a title doesn't make you a leader, right? But leadership goes beyond that, beyond the office. So you lead in your house, you lead your family, you lead your kids, you lead communities. It applies everywhere, right? Okay. So what are the benefits of having leadership skills? So personal growth is one of them. So it's very important to develop self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Anybody know what emotional intelligence is? You want to guess what emotional intelligence is?
It's like when you're aware of your emotions, you could also be aware of the negative emotions that you have, or the stuff that you say to yourself that will put yourself down.
Beautiful. It's understanding and knowing your own emotional and being able to control your emotions and thoughts. And also being aware of other people's emotions. Can I ask you to put your phone away, please? It improves decision-making capabilities. So a lot of parts of your life, you're going to be making a lot of decisions. In school, you make decisions. When you get to, a higher grade, you're going to be making decisions in terms of what university you want to go to, what you want to take, what your career path you want to take. So you can make those decisions a lot easier because your thoughts and emotions, you control them yourself. Right? Professional success. So again, your skills help you increase career opportunities and growth. So when you're applying for jobs, you guys in here, you're going to be going against each other when you're applying for jobs. Right? There's going to be a whole bunch of you guys applying for jobs. So why should the hiring manager hire you over him or you over her? Right? When you have these skills and you can demonstrate these skills and you have these volunteering opportunities, whatever it is, you put yourself ahead of other people. Make yourself stand out. Because when you come out of school, when you're in university, you have no real life experience. So all your resumes look alike. So now you got to demonstrate what differentiates you from the rest of the crowd. And these skills help you do that. All right? Again, leads to better team collaboration and productivity. If you've got those leadership skills, again, people follow you. people are productive, people are more engaged on the teams, and you get better outputs, more revenue, more profits, better customer service. It impacts a lot of different things. Community impact. This right here. It empowers individuals to contribute to societal changes, right? We have a lot of people that are just selfish. It's about me, take, right? How are you guys, that the system's giving back to you when you grow up, when you become successful, how are you going to give back to the community? And never forget where you come from, right? For me, this was my stomping ground. I grew up in Scarborough. I started in Scarborough. So it's always about giving back, right? And when I can help people like yourselves, it gives me that fulfillment. So that's what leadership is. And it strengthens your, community bonds through proactive involvement. So again, don't forget that no matter how successful you become, always be humble. That's what a real leader is. Now, leadership in personal life. It gives you self-discipline. You guys know what self-discipline is?
Yeah, thank you.
It's the ability to manage your time and your resources in an effective way, and to be able to hold back on certain things and know what decisions to make.
That's right, right? A lot of people these days, they like that instant gratification. Instant gratification is that dopamine you get when you're scrolling your social media. You have something sweet, coffee, tea, whatever it is that that gets you that jolt instantly. Discipline is the delayed gratification. Now, why is the delayed gratification more important? Because the rewards are bigger at the end, right? You hold yourself back until you win, and that's when you celebrate. You celebrate the big ones, not the small ones that don't even matter, right? Again, setting and achieving personal goals. How many of you guys have goals set for yourself right now? Amazing. How many of you guys know what your goals are, that you have it like written down? Okay, awesome. I'm going to point to you and tell me one of your goals.
So one of my goals is to finish school, get a high grade in maths, especially in maths and English, and go to university.
Okay.
Choose I want to become an engineer in future, so I have to focus on math, English, and other subjects. So these are my goals.
Awesome. What discipline of engineering are you going to study?
Design, and
But which discipline? Like electrical, mechanical, aerospace, chemical?
I don't know about that, but the only thing I know is that engineer, the home design.
Okay.
I think he means interiors.
Into architecture.
Architecture is more the outline.
Yeah,
It's really more of the blueprints.
that's right. Olivia, what's one of your goals?
It's kind of the same thing Jahan said about graduating school with higher grades. I want to go to Seneca College for the Flight Services program and the Child and Youth Care program, which they have there. And a goal that goes with the Child and Youth Care program, I was thinking about, after I was done with that program at Seneca College, I was thinking about getting my bachelor's degree at TMU.
Nice. What's my rule on goals? Don't tell me you forgot. Your goals should scare you. It should be big, so big that they scare you. And what you do is you break those down into smaller goals. And with those smaller goals, you develop plans. So a roadmap, right? You've got the destination, and you've got this GPS to get you to your destination. You know, you're gonna get a flat tire on the way. You're gonna run out of gas. Those are the failures that you will come across in life. But you never ever let that stop you from achieving your goal. If you really want that goal badly, you'll always move forward. Remember that. Always move forward. Okay. Confidence building. How many of you guys think you've got very high confidence?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Not the way by you putting up your hand. What do you think your confidence level is? From 1 to 10.
On scale of 1, probably more than 10. Breaks the scale.
That's good. Why do you think it's so high? Why do you think it's high?
Well, I do things that I know might not really be. People won't really respond to it as positively, but I know that I want to do it. And I know that some people will respond to it positively, so I do it anyway.
Yes.
And then when people actually tell me negative things and not because it seriously is negative, but because they simply just don't like it, I honestly just don't care. For example, 2 years ago, I would honestly care and I would take it personally. Now, I honestly don't care. Your opinion doesn't really matter to me as much as my opinion anymore.
Beautiful.
I started to look at I started to value my opinion.
Good. There's one thing they always say. Other people's opinion is none of your business. Okay? Put that phone away. I'm gonna throw your phone out. Be respectful. Right. And it's also empowering yourself to take on more newer challenges. Always challenge yourself. That's where the growth happens, right? If you're always stuck in your comfort zone because you're comfortable doing the same thing over and over again, how do you expect to grow? Right? You'll never gain the confidence. Because why do you think you'll be held back? What's the word I'm looking for? When you don't want to take new challenges.
Because you're scared.
Fear. Beautiful. Right? Everyone, I promise you, everyone in this room has a fear of something. Fear of failure, fear of letting people down, fear of letting your parents down, self-limiting beliefs and insecurities. Right? And that's what stops people from growing, from challenging themselves. So use that fear to drive you forward. Right? Exactly like what you said. Do not listen to what people tell you. Everyone's going to have an opinion. Right? You guys do whatever it takes for you to do. Go out there and achieve your goals. Okay. Emotional intelligence. We talked about this. It's understanding and managing your emotions. Very, very important. This is crucial in leadership because people are gonna push your buttons, they're gonna talk, they're gonna yell, they're gonna scream. You cannot go down to their level, right? You have to remain calm. And that's knowing your emotions, right? People will try to poke you. And that just doesn't happen in your career. It happens in your day-to-day life, right? Think about this. You're driving a car, somebody cuts you off. What's the first reaction? Right? You get angry. You get upset. And you don't know, maybe that person is in a rush. Maybe they're going to the hospital. Maybe something happened. We assume all these negative things in our brain, right? We make up stories for ourselves, right? You gotta stop doing that. No stories. Let it go. Whatever you don't have control over, let it go. Or else all it's impacting is you, right? Because when people drive you crazy, when they make you upset, it's like you giving them the poison, but you're dying from the poison yourself, right? You want to impact them, but it's really impacting you. Because like this guy says, he doesn't care, right? So you're just pissing yourself off. You're upsetting yourself. Being able to control your thoughts and emotions takes discipline. Okay? And when you have that discipline, I promise you, you can achieve a lot of good things in your life. Building strong personal relationships. Again, understanding who's a good friend, who's not a good friend, who comes in your life, to do good things, and who's negative in your life. And I'll tell you one thing right now, you guys are all the average of your 5 people, 5 friends that you hang around with. And if you don't believe that, think about it, and you'll see as you get older. Always. So surround yourself with good, positive people that are going to uplift you, not to bring you down. Right? And you do the same thing for your friends. Uplift them. You're not out there competing with each other. The only person you should compete with is yourself. So, leadership in a professional life. So again, communication skills. Leadership has a lot to do with communication skills. And communication skills are important in every aspect of your life. A lot of the issues that people face, the root cause 90% of the time is communication skills. Misunderstanding, not talking, or not understanding, not listening, root causes. Okay? So clear and effective communication with your colleagues, with your team, and the most important part of communication is listening. And not just listening, active listening. You guys know what active listening is?
It's listening and then actually using what you heard. Like, for example, if someone tells you they want something done, actually getting it done instead of just saying like, oh yeah, that will work.
Yes, that's part of it. But it's active listening is also listening to understand. So a lot of times, if I'm talking to you, and if I'm going on, in your mind, you're trying to come up with an answer, a rebuttal, whatever it is. But prior to doing that, actually stop thinking and just listen. Listen to what the person is really trying to convey, what message. Because we're always listening to respond, right? We're not really listening, we're just getting ready to respond, right? So listen to understand the person. Problem solving. So these skills help you problem solve in life. And if you can solve problems, you make a lot of money. And I promise you, as an entrepreneur, solve people's problems and you'll make a lot of money. The bigger the problem, the more money you make. Right? And everyone's got problems. So that's how you become, a smart entrepreneur, is find the problem that people have and come up with a solution. Okay? And analytic thinking and creative solutions, handling conflict and crisis in situations. So in a workplace, in life, you gotta deal with a lot of conflict. People, if you guys think, you've graduated from kindergarten and grade 1, when you get into the real world, you'll be surprised how many people are stuck in kindergarten. They act like little kids. Right? And you have to be able to handle that. And you have to have poise. Right? And that's what leadership skills teach you how to do. Handle those kind of conflict situations. And we talked about it, emotional intelligence. You have to stay calm, right? You have to handle everything like an adult, right? Because now you're adults. Teamwork, again, very important. Collaboration is super important in the workplace, right? In your professional life. That's where innovation happens. That's where ideas come to fruition. That's where brainstorming happens. So learn how to collaborate and work as a team, even at this stage of your life, right? And here's where leadership comes in. You're given a project at school, in your class. Always put up your hand and say, I'll take the lead. That's leadership. And what you're doing is you're bringing people together to to solve a problem, right? And you start delegating tasks to your teammates. That's leadership. A leader never does the work. Okay? They're always delegating the tasks. And if you take on the work yourself, again, you're not a leader. You're never going to develop other people. You're just hoarding the work. And you have the fear that somebody's going to steal your job, and you have those insecurities, or people cannot do it as good as you. Right? And your job is to make sure you train people and you develop people. It's important. And again, also fostering a positive environment. One of the key aspects of leadership is creating a safe environment. When I say safe, safe means physically, emotionally, right? And mentally. And when you create that safe space, people can thrive and grow. You don't live in fear. You're not going to work scared all the time. And you're going to get reprimanded by your boss if you do something wrong. Okay? And then leadership in the community and society. So again, very, very important. One thing I did is I studied a lot of the big successful people who are billionaires, millionaires, whatever you want to call them, right? One of the key things that gives them the biggest satisfaction and the biggest fulfillment is actually giving back to people, helping people out. It's not about the money. The money is there to buy you freedom of time, freedom of space, but that's not what really gives you the real fulfillment. It's this, helping people out. So volunteering, you guys are here, when you get the opportunity, start doing some volunteering work. When you learn something, tutor a less fortunate person, less fortunate kid. Do something positive for the community. And then come back and tell me how you feel about it. Again, leading initiatives. So take initiative. If you think something can, become better, take that initiative. Bring that up. Propose something, right? And make it happen. You guys take the lead. Role modeling. Always remember, people are looking up to you. The people below you are always looking up to you. If you've got smaller siblings, you guys are the role models. Right? So what are you doing? Very important. And again, inspiring and mentoring future leaders. Okay? So developing your leadership skills. How do we develop leadership skills? Very important. This is where the self-reflection happens. Self-awareness. Right? It's identifying strengths and areas for improvement. So again, the gentleman in the back said, I'm confident. That's your strength. So what do you think, what's one area you need to improve in? Tap him on the shoulder.
I'd say self-control. Because as I said, a lot of people, their biggest strength is also their biggest weakness.
Correct.
So since I'm overconfident, as I said, I tend to do things that I don't care what people think, but some people, when they're serious, I do take their thing into consideration. Because like, for example, I don't care about the opinions of people, but I do care if somebody's seriously trying to, number one, either help me, or they're trying to protect themselves. So for example, self-improvement, or self-restriction, like sometimes I tend to go overboard, and I might annoy people, and they're not, and when they actually warn me or tell me, I think, oh, it's just their opinion, but then I tell myself later on, hey, no, that's not their opinion. There's something wrong. Bingo. So you also have to be thinking about yourself as well.
Bingo. It's called feedback, right? When multiple people tell you the same thing, now you got to reflect on yourself and say, hey, maybe they're right. Because always remember, we live in our own bubble. We've got blind spots that we cannot see. Other people can see. So you might say that, people are giving you their opinion and it's always wrong, but there could be good for you to listen and, implement some changes. So that's where you seek feedback from your peers and have a mentor where they can kind of see the gaps that you can't see, and they can give you that feedback when you ask for it, right? Or you get a coach, and that helps you because again, once they ask a lot of questions from you, you'll be able to understand who you are and where your gaps are, where your strengths and weaknesses are. Okay? Continuous learning. So again, attending a lot of workshops, seminars, conferences, it always helps you understand various things. For me, one of the major things is reading books. I hated reading books. I didn't read an entire book until my early 30s. Not even through my university, school, nothing. I hated books. I hated reading. I hated writing. Okay? But when I understood how powerful it was, it changed my life. Okay? And that's what you guys are going to go through. So the reason I'm here today is to help you avoid what I've been through. So you can start now and save that many years. Right? You don't have to learn the hard way. You want to learn the hard way? Go ahead. Be my guest. But there's always listen to certain people and the advice that they have to give. There's always something to it. And look for trends. Right? Network with leaders. So you guys can, contact different people and try to ask questions. Have that questioning attitude. It's the best thing that you can ever do. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Ask away. Let your curiosity come out. Pretend you're 5 years old. Right? That's where you learn, by asking questions. And then practical experience, so taking on leadership roles. Again, like I said, in your projects at school, in whatever you're volunteering, in your communities, wherever you work in the summertime, take those opportunities to learn by practicing it. And then how do we overcome barriers? So some of the barriers we talked about is the fear of failure. Again, a lot of people have this. I'm not good enough. I'm gonna fail. So remember, fear is a future state. It's not a present state. So you're putting something in your head that doesn't even exist. And over 90% of the time, it never comes true. Right? Go out, take action, try, fail. You will never succeed without failing, I promise you that. You're gonna fail hard, you're gonna fail over and over again, but that's where you learn the most. If you don't believe me, go listen to all the successful people who you think are on top of the world and see how many times they failed. Okay? Again, embracing mistakes is learning opportunities and building resilience. That is powerful. Think about a boxer that gets knocked down, but they continue to get back up after getting knocked down. That's how you should vision your life. You're gonna get knocked out. I guarantee you, all of you guys will get knocked out. Some of the blows will be harder than others. But it's how many times you get back up. That's what builds this. Super, super important. Right? If you have resilience, you'll be successful. Lack of confidence. So again, there's only 2 people that really had real confidence here. That's something you guys really need to work on. Right? Believe in yourself. You don't need anyone else to believe in you except yourself. Right? You don't need validation from anybody. And if you want to build this, get off social media. Total garbage. Right? Total waste of time. And a lot of people are seeking other people's validations. Oh, let me post this and see how many likes I get, blah, blah, blah. All garbage, right? There's good stuff that you can follow, good stuff. But always, go after the positive things. Forget about people's lives, forget about celebrities, artists, If you guys think those guys live a good life, they don't.
It's like training.
It's just for you. It's entertainment for you guys to see. Right? And look at history. And you build confidence by setting goals and the small wins and celebrating those small wins. Right? Very important. Be proud of yourself. You've accomplished something, be proud. Right? Hold your head up high. Physiology is super important. Always look at people, the way they walk. Look at the people that always have their heads down. Do you think they're confident? No. So always be conscious of how you are. That's what you always think. You know, when you catch yourself like head down, you know, slouching, stick your chest up, put your head up. Always be proud. Walk in a room with your head up. There's something called a Superman pose. They tell you to do that 2 minutes a day. And you'll see how much your confidence level goes up. There's physiology behind all of this stuff. You know, I'm not making this stuff up. And resistance to change. A lot of people hate change. They dislike change because they're in a comfort zone. They love the comfort zone. They love, you know, sitting behind the TV, watching TV, you know, scrolling the social media. Get out and be uncomfortable. Make yourself uncomfortable. Do something that challenges you. All right? And always be open-minded. If people are telling you things, be open-minded. To think, maybe they have a point. And let me look into it. Let me assess it for myself. Right? Okay. That's all I had. Any questions?
How to talk with people. Like, I have trouble talking with people in public. My first shake, I lose confidence. How to make a confidence increase.
Good. What do you think you should do?
I think I should speak slow.
And what else? When you're not confident in something, what's the best thing to do?
Calm down, speak slow, and try to relax. Try to know what you're saying next, and try to listen.
Okay.
And, yeah, that's it.
Okay. Those are good points, right? What do you do when you want to become better at something?
Try to do it.
Practice. So go out there and talk to people. Make yourself uncomfortable. Remember what I said? That's where the growth happens, right? If you're afraid of heights, go stand on top of a building. Go skydiving. I did that. I'm scared, like, you know what? What's that?
Are you still scared of heights?
Not as much as listen, I couldn't stand on the balcony and look down. But it was like, you say it, this is it, like this is what I was scared of. Right? And you know, one thing I've written on my wall is do something that scares you every single day. You have to build your own mindset. No one's gonna do it for you. No one's coming to save anybody. Right? Go out there and put yourself out there. Go in a shopping mall or go in a grocery store and start talking to people. Right? And see how you feel. You're going to be scared the first time, the second time, the fifth time. But the 10th time, you're going to ease up, you're going to open up. And practice breathing exercises. Okay? Something I've, you know, Olivia can maybe talk about this too. The breathing box exercises. If you look it up on YouTube, that's what the Navy SEAL use to calm down. Right? So use breathing exercises, meditate. Why do you think people always talk about that kind of stuff? Exercise. It builds your mind. It helps you relax. And to build that confidence, go out there and talk to people. I hated presentations. I couldn't stand in front of people and talk. I was shy. But I put myself out there, do it over and over and over and over again. Right? I hated selfies. You know, and now I never had any social media, but now I'm on all the platforms because it's a way of me getting my message out. I said the only way I can do it is making myself uncomfortable. Was it crappy? Yes. Was it scary? Yes. But I pushed myself. Yes.
That somebody could be a leader or successful if they're resistant to change.
No. No. How? How? You need to be able to change as a leader. You need to do self-reflection and you need to look at where your gaps are. And if you don't want to change those, how can you grow? How can you be successful? Right? Open-minded. Right? You have to be open-minded. And you have to be able to adapt. Change is good. It's not a bad thing. Right? We always look at change as a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Right? So the answer is no.
In that case, could you argue that conservative political parties would be extremely ineffective because the entire idea of conservatism is being against change?
I don't speak politics. I don't go into politics. But again, I don't consider any politicians as leaders, in my opinion. They're always, no matter what liberal, conservative, whatever they are, they always remember that they have their own agenda, not yours. They want what's best for them, not yours. They're there to make money and power and all that crap. So any leader of, even I look at like leaders of countries. When you go out and kill innocent people, you're not a leader, right? The name is leader, but there's the good people that were really leaders like Nelson Mandela. You know, there's so many good people out there that didn't have all these titles, but people gravitated towards them because they did good for the world. Right? That's a true leader. Any other questions? No? You good? Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time. I greatly appreciate it. And I wish you guys all the best. Thank you.